What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Destiny Nerds podcast. My name is Maddox, and it looks a little different here. Normally we have Mr. Bearded Luke with us, but unfortunately, this man is a busy guy, and he is currently moving. He is moving his house as we speak. So make sure you guys say hello to Luke next time that we're here. He is going to be in a brand new house next week. So it's going to be a lot of fun to have him back next week. But welcome, guys. This is episode 28 of the Destiny Nerds podcast. And we have some wonderful guests, some close friends of mine that I'm happy to talk to. And hopefully you guys will get to know a little bit of a few things about them. But welcome, guys. And we're going to have some fun tonight. I'll go ahead and introduce our guests here. We have one and only Mr. Frostee. What's going on, man? Welcome to the podcast again. By the way, second time being on here. So go ahead and tell the peeps who you are and what you do.
All right, what's up? My name is Frostee. I'm a Destiny streamer. I play a lot of PvE. Just now branching into PvP, trying to learn the ways of that. It's not going too well. I'm also a full-time graphic designer. That's what my main thing is, and we'll actually be bringing some design streams back. Finally going to be designing stuff on
you
stream.
better.
I know a lot of people have been asking, and
I have a 3D render I've been waiting for a long time. Okay. Listen, I told you though, it's stream content though, so I'm patient.
Yeah. Might as well knock out two birds with one stone. So yeah, that's it. And I'm trying to branch out into variety streams as well. I've been playing some other games throughout the week and stuff, so yeah, just trying to diversify my content and all that good stuff.
That's awesome. That's always usually pretty good for the long run. So I mean, if you're looking to be a good a streamer down the way, it's always nice to diversify as you're a much smaller streamer. So
way more long term. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. I'm happy to hear you. Welcome back, dude. I'm happy
Thanks
to have you.
So. I appreciate the invite.
Absolutely.
It's always a good time.
Absolutely. Just we can all be mad at Luke for not being here. How about that? He'll hate me after that, but it's okay. But again, we haven't had this wonderful guest on just yet, and I'm happy to have her. But we have Liv, also known as Foxytocinn. Go ahead and tell us who you are, Fox. I know who you are, but let everybody else know who you are.
My name is Foxytocinn. Most people call me Fox or Liv. I'm a recently retired streamer. Just kidding.
As recent as it gets.
As recent as it gets, yeah. I am on a break from streaming right now. But in the past, I've streamed a lot of Destiny, some variety, Minecraft, all kinds of weird stuff. I'm planning on kind of branching out, doing more YouTube, focusing on TikTok, kind of branching into some other games and content creation and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm still around the Destiny community a lot. I have a lot of friends here and just kind of like to make jokes and chat. So,
well, that's awesome. I'm happy to have you here, and you are definitely correct whenever you say you're still around Destiny. So, yes. And you've been around Destiny for a long time. I'd love to hear y'all's like Destiny story. So, Liv, you've been playing Destiny for a long time, if I remember correctly.
A good little while, yeah. Not as long as a lot of people, I feel like. I actually didn't start playing Destiny until probably like 2 months before Destiny 2 released.
That's
I played
right. We do talk about how you've missed out on a bunch of raids and such. So
I missed like all of Destiny 1. I missed all the good old days. All I know is 4v4 and double primary.
Oh gosh.
That was my intro to Destiny.
We need to go back.
Yikes.
We need to go back. That'd be a fun thing to do in the future. I think Sarah, our other friend, very small hat, she hasn't done much of Destiny 1 either. It might be a good little fun night to get, but I think you guys are Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
painful.
Xbox.
Oh, the better console.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, thank you.
Shut your mouth.
I like it here already.
Nobody asked you, okay? Well, that's awesome. No, that'd be fun. I'd be I mean, I guess I'll just have to buy an Xbox. So
yeah, easy.
Why
easy
not?
cop.
Why not? Awesome. But yeah, so if you guys don't know Liv, she just recently you just updated on your Twitter that you're taking a little bit of a hiatus from streaming, not content creating.
Yes.
So like you said, you're still around the Destiny community, you're still trying to branch out into some other things as well too. So go ahead and tell us like what your kind of plan is, for the near future.
So plan for the near future is to kind of go all in on YouTube. I've been wanting to do it for a couple months now. Just been kind of dragging my feet. I know everyone kind of says this. Everyone's life is busy in a different way, but I have a very busy life.
Oh yeah.
I have like 2 full-time jobs and 2 dogs and a house, and I'm getting married in October, so planning all of that is a lot.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
So like just a lot of to-do lists. And so on top of that, I was starting to feel a little bit burnt out on streaming, and it's also just something that like gives me a lot of anxiety in general. But I don't dislike content creation. I don't necessarily have a problem being in front of a camera. It's just like that live aspect to it is a whole nother level of stress for me. So I know it is for a lot of people too. I know I'm alone in that. But yeah, so I just kind of plan on going in on YouTube and TikTok and kind of getting more consistent on my already existing platforms like Twitter and Instagram, and just seeing how it goes, going for some variety content, giving it a shot, and maybe coming back to streaming in the future. I don't want to put a date on it because I feel like that puts a lot of pressure on it. If I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to return now, I don't want to do that. So,
well, awesome. I'm happy for you, and that's a big step towards a different kind of career almost. And I hope it works out for you, because that's exciting. And by the way, chat, if you guys are listening live on Spotify or anything, YouTube video tomorrow, you said, is that right?
YouTube video tomorrow.
First
I'm going to
YouTube
post
video?
it at 12 Eastern, so you can watch it for lunch.
There you go. Watch it while you're eating your Chick-fil-A or something.
Yes.
Easy. Well, Frosty, let's hear about you, brother. How was your Destiny story coming along?
So I played back in the D1 beta, and I loved it. Tried it with some IRL friends, and we all thought it was the coolest game ever. So then when it released, we obviously played it a bunch, but I never really got to get into the game as like a hardcore player, because I shared one Xbox with 2 brothers, and I was also in like middle school when it came out, playing sports and all that. So I was quite the casual. I was your stereotypical little 13-year-old squeaker, played an hour of Xbox a day. Had my hour of Xbox every day, but I loved the game and just loved the universe, and it was my main game basically all the way through D1. And then in between D1 and D2 coming out, I was lucky enough to get a gaming laptop, and that was like my first PC. And so then I got D2 on PC when that released, obviously, and just kind of really fell in love with that game. I don't know how, at the start of the game. I played through Curse of Osiris, and I loved it, which was weird.
What?
And,
what did you just say?
Dude, I loved Year 1.
What?
I played so
Hot take
much
from
of
Frosty
Year 1
already?
I played so much of Year 1 for no good reason at all. And then obviously Forsaken came out and was good, so that kept me playing even more. And,
sure.
Yeah, still here today. And I definitely have slowed down a little bit, but I still love the game. The community, that's one reason that I've obviously stayed around, is the community is too good. Like, so many friends here, so.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I totally agree. But the fact that you just said Curse of Osiris was good, I don't even know what to say to that.
Maybe it's because like that whole year of high school, I was like sleep deprived or something. Maybe my judgment wasn't good or something.
Yeah. You just flipped upside down. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's the first person I've ever heard say that. But that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. And so what are you guys kind of enjoying about the game at the moment? Because I know it's... Myself, I have been playing a lot more PvE, doing a lot more GMs, even doing GM helps and stuff like that, and which I've really enjoyed. Which, if you don't know me, I normally do PvE. I normally do scrims and trials, like there's no tomorrow, So, what are you guys what's your like go-to right now for Destiny 2? We'll start. Whoever wants to go first.
You go ahead.
Oh my god. That's a nervous
I've actually
Nellies.
branched. I feel like I branched into PvE a lot more also. I've always enjoyed it, and like I did it in the past for, materials, or if I wanted to farm an exotic, something like that. I've definitely gotten a lot more into it just because PvP is very painful for me at the moment. But I still do play some PvP. I think I stay away from the competitive side of it, which is a little bit sad because that's actually the aspect that I enjoy the most, or I did enjoy in the past. But I mean, I understand the game's just not in the spot for it right now, and so I also just don't have the patience for it, so I kind of just avoid comp and trials. But yeah, I just kind of hop on, have fun in quick play, or run some GMs, solo lost sectors, that kind of thing.
Oh, our solo gamer. Okay.
I have actually been doing some solo lost sectors. It's all for the loot.
Right. Literally just for the chess piece you get after the 15th run. So that's good.
Yeah.
Speaking of solo, I have recently attempted a solo GM when it was Inverted Spire last week. Talk about challenging. I mean, in my opinion, GMs shouldn't be soloable. Like, just in all seriousness, it should be like high-end PvE content. And the fact that my built ass can make it all the way to the final boss floor or whatever, and like with no problems, whatever, is just is scary because it shouldn't happen. Like, but it was fun. It was a fun experience. But what are you enjoying right now, Frosty? What is your go-to for
a lot of PvE? I've kind of always been more PvE. Like early D2, I was a quick play gremlin, just sit there 4,000 DPI farming clips all day. And I definitely realized that PvP in the game is a little tough. So kind of in Forsaken, I started maining PvE, and it's definitely kept me ever since. So I mean, I do low man raids whenever a new one is out. I don't do every single low man challenge. Like I haven't done solo Templar or solo Atheon, but I recently did like duo Atheon, had a blast with that one. And then definitely GMs are something to look forward to every season because they're technically like the hardest thing in the game right now. So I mean, I might as well do them, and I like helping chat with those because I know not everyone has a good enough team because LFG can be a little tough. So definitely like game with chat and GMs a lot, and just with friends. And so yeah, mainly just GMs. Honestly, I kind of do like my weekly raids and call it there. But yeah, just a lot of GM farming, low mans whenever there's a good one that I'm interested in, and that kind of stuff. And I have been doing a little bit of PvP, oddly enough, which it's a tough time for the game, obviously, for PvP.
Oh,
but I've been
an
trying trials like every Friday just to see how it goes. And I'm seeing improvement, but still it can't consistently go flawless due to some fun situations, like maybe
it's tough.
Some C words, you know.
Oh gosh, yeah, exactly. We talk about that just about every week. So, but no, I feel that, believe me, because I know whenever I was playing trials as well too, that it was not fun. But that's good that you guys are both branching out into kind of areas, and myself as well too, areas that we're kind of maybe not so familiar with, or even might be comfortable doing. Like soloing was very difficult in my opinion. Doing solo GMs, or people have been doing solo Atheon, which was recently completed. Dude, that takes a lot of preparation and just stick to itiveness, because it's not the first. You don't go in there and complete it the first try, so that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that you guys are doing that, because if my opinion, it makes me love the game all over again. Does that make sense? Like we fall in love with a certain aspect, which in my opinion was PvP. I loved it. It's a great game. I got good at it. I practiced every day. I got into scrims and stuff like that, stuff I didn't normally used to do. And now I'm seeing the other side that people fall in love with, like the GMs, the raids, raid helps and stuff like that, and the raid challenges, low mans, which by the way, I want to do one. My man Frosty over here helped me out get through DSC 3-man, which was tons of fun. So before my new computer comes in, before I start getting back to PvP, I'd love to run a low man,
like a trio Vog or something.
Let's do it. A Last Wish I've seen is really interesting as well too.
That's a really fun one.
Maybe we just do all of them.
I've done trio Hunter Last Wish, and that's one of the most fun challenges I've ever done.
Let's do all of them.
I'm down.
F it. Let's just do all of them. One Saturday, let's just get together. You heard it here first.
Every raid 3-man.
Maddox about 3-man every single raid. Let's do it. Easy. Awesome. So I think the biggest topic that we have for tonight that I'd love to hear y'all's opinions, and even people in chat that you guys are listening live, I want this to be kind of all about predictions, because we're getting to a point of the season where it's just kind of getting a little stale. Things are going, you get the trials every weekend, you get the GMs, people are getting their Conqueror, which I recently just got Conqueror, by the way, for the first time.
Nice.
Gonna be guilding it as well too. So I want to hear y'all's predictions, and maybe even like expectations of like what you want for the next season. Like, what are you looking for? A lot of people, last week we asked our guest, and his response was, we want like a quality of life season. Like, he would love to see something like that, where we get better tick rate servers, we get better we get maybe a map or two in PvP, we get balancing, literally no new content, but other than just fixing stuff that's broken, fixing melee whiffs and shotgun spreads, and literally all the little things that piss us off in the middle of the game whenever we're playing it, you know? So Frosty, we'll start with you, my friend.
Yeah.
What do you want from next season, and what are you looking forward to? Maybe there might be some stuff that might have leaked.
So I 100% agree about a quality of life update, because this is our final season before the Witch Queen.
That was the
which we
exact point
heard
that he had.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard
Mhm.
about that, I think it was like last summer, and we've been super excited for it since. We know it's going to have to do with Savathun, which is a storyline that's been going on since the start of the game. Still isn't over. So I feel like to get our full Witch Queen experience, a quality of life update now would be extremely healthy for the game.
It sounds great, doesn't it? Like, in
Yeah.
all honesty, like, I'm getting
It would be
hyped just thinking
super
about it.
healthy for the game. Going into Witch Queen with a game that we have like way less complaints about and can just hop on and grind happily, like that would be a very ideal situation. I do think they're going to release some type of content in season 15. They kind of like have to,
Of
for
course.
the people
Yeah,
that
no,
don't care
this
about
is-
all the broken stuff.
Sure.
So I think they can definitely do a lot of quality of life stuff. It's just it is going to come with new content too. So content wise, I would love to see a new dungeon or a mission like Whisper used to be, or
Something
the
secret,
Outbreak
maybe?
mission. A secret, like
Okay.
a secret exotic mission. But I really think a new dungeon would be nice, because technically our last one was Prof, I believe, Prophecy.
Right.
So
right.
I'd love to see a new dungeon, because I don't think there's not going to be a raid next season. I don't think, with VOG coming out this season and then
I don't
Witch
think
Queen
so
raid.
either. Unless they
So
bring
at
back
least a good dungeon.
the legend raid, like Crota, or maybe they make Crota
Yeah.
a dungeon. People have been
Yeah.
speculating that as well too. So
Yeah, because it basically was a strike and deal. And so I
yeah.
think a really good dungeon that has, again, loot worth chasing, maybe, spoils that you can spend in it, so you can chase those god rolls, all that stuff. I think a healthy dungeon would be good. Again, quality of life stuff. PvP, I feel like they need at least 2 maps. And I personally would be fine with one of them being reprised. But I think one new map this season with Override and Expunge, I love that aesthetic, the Tron stuff,
Mhm.
all the
Mhm.
neon stuff. They could super easily just rip an area from one of those expunges or overrides, turn it into a PvP map.
Right.
I'm not a game dev, but I feel like that could be very easily done. They just put a little bit of time into it. So I think at least one like fully brand new PvP map would be super healthy, as well as balancing and all that, bug fixes. I'm hoping for more word on the anti-cheat, because we've seen that they're hiring people to make
Sure.
a specific team for that and all that. We're gonna have no 3 peeking next season. I don't know if that's
That's
coming in
right.
at launch. Yeah, because we had that massive like state of the game update from the devs a while
That's
ago.
right.
and
That's right.
3 peeking will be gone in 15. I hope it's at the start. So I mean, that right there is a big quality of life change. So
Another
it'd be nice
thing,
to
by
have an
the
update on
way,
the anti-cheat with that.
Crossplay is coming next season as
Yes,
well.
that's
too.
right.
Mhm.
And
huge one.
we'll speak about that a little bit later, because that's a big thing. That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
That's almost like a full topic. So we'll speak about that in just a minute. Fox, what are you looking forward to? Let's hear it.
A lot of similar stuff. Predictions wise, I definitely think I feel like they're definitely gonna give some type of activity like expunged or something like that. Again, I think like the community response on that was so positive. I don't see them like leaving something out
Mhm.
like that again. I hope they give dungeons. That would be great. It would be really nice if we got a new one and an old one. That would be really cool. Like if they turned Crota into a dungeon, but also gave something completely new.
That would be
really,
sick.
really nice. That would be really sick. Yeah. I mean, I think I just want content. Like I know they're gonna release it, like Frosty said. I know they're gonna give a lot of content with Witch Queen and stuff. They've been
Of
hyping
course.
it up way too much not to. I'm sure there'll be a lot of new story, several new activities, stuff like that. I would love a quality of life update. That would be great.
It sounds great. I'm telling you. Like,
Sounds great.
everyone I've spoke to, it's just, I mean, we all play this game and we're playing trials and your shotgun doesn't hit all the way and you're just like, what the why
Or
didn't I kill
melee.
him? You
Don't
know?
get me started on
or you
melees.
melee him. Or you're in your arc strider and you have you big electric staff that you're just smacking the shit out of this guy with and nothing's happening. You know?
Yes.
How annoying is that?
It's like hitting them with a wet napkin.
Yeah, like so.
Yeah.
We talked about that last, and it was hardcore that brought it up, and we shared a clip of it on Twitter. We just called it Season of Quality, just because it would just make so
Sounds
much
very
sense.
good.
So we're expecting Witch Queen to be Forsaken esque. Like
Mhm.
people are hyping it up that much, and because we know what we got in Forsaken, it was literally it took Destiny and it turned it upside down, you know, and it for the better, of course. Got rid of the current, you know, literal sandbox of double primaries and gave us back our specials, put specials in the kinetic slot, you know, and it's crazy, of course. But so Witch Queen being that large, you would think you'd want to fix a lot of things before something like that comes out, you know?
Yeah.
Especially with crossplay. So now you have what is it, a total of five platforms now? You have the old gens, new gens, and then PC. You have 5 consoles
And
coming
Stadia.
together. And Stadia, yeah. So you have six
Mhm.
total consoles coming together to play with each other. You would think that, you know, you would want some type of, you know, I would almost think it would help with the longevity of the game as well too, whenever you're fixing all these little things. Bugs. We all know that every time you start up a freaking DLC, it's bam, you get in the queue list, bam, you get, you know, error code bullcrap or whatever the heck it is. So I'm with it, man, and I would love to see some things like that. And I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to add to, but I'm with the seasonal content as well too. The expunge was fantastic. The expunge crucible map would be fantastic.
That's so cool.
Mhm.
I saw a lot of screenshots on Twitter recently as well too, of like different areas that would look cool as a crucible match, but I cannot think of what the areas were to save my life. I think it was like almost like a Dreaming City-esque thing, but we all know how Dreaming City went last time.
Oh, that map.
That map was
a
terrible.
bit tough.
The map hurt. It was so aesthetic and pretty and well designed visually and so horribly designed
But you had
gameplay wise.
to get
There was
rid of
an
half
every
your
Iron Banner
frames.
rotation.
Yep, you had to get
Oh,
rid of half
crap.
your frames and such just to play on it. It was bad.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It was bad. And recently I've been doing a lot of PvE stuff, and with all the new Dreaming City weapons that came out, by the way, got a really good Twilight Oath I'm really excited for.
Nice.
And playing on my 60 frame computer at the moment, it's bad.
It's bad,
the
yeah.
optimization on the Dreaming City is terrible. So I would like to see them fix that at a Dreaming City weapon or Dreaming City map. That'd be cool. That would be fun. That'd be fun. I would like that a lot. So so expectations with the new season, that's fantastic. So as you guys know, with the new season, we get, you know, trials again. Trials has been the same thing recently. I want to know, with your opinions, Trials is not in a good state. I think I speak for the community when I say that Trials is not fun. Trials is not casual. Trials is not optimized for good loot. How do you fix it? Cox, what are your, because you like you said, you play competitive PvP, you play scrims and such. You've kicked my ass multiple times. So how do you go about fixing Trials in your opinion? That's with the loot, that's with maybe map rotations, that's with how the cards work, literally anything. Like, what is the perfect Trials in your opinion?
I think
Loaded question, so take your time.
very loaded question, yes. Very subjective also, because everyone is going to have a different version of their
absolutely.
perfect Trials. I think one thing though that the majority would probably agree on, and in my opinion should be first and foremost number one priority for them, is getting cheating under control. Because
Absolutely. I think that almost goes without being said. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think whether they fix loot or not, a lot of players will come back to the game if they don't have to worry about playing a cheater every single card. I know I would be one of them. Like, regardless of loot, if I didn't have to have cards ruined by cheaters, I would come back and casually just try to like hang out and play Trials with my clan and stuff. So I know that goes for a lot of people. I'm glad sword peeking and 3 peeking is going away. That's
huge.
a very good step in the right
huge.
direction. Yeah. And I guess I would just hope that they look at the loot system in some way. The way it goes right now, I just don't feel like it's like the rotation they have it on a normal basis. It's just not worth playing. And I feel like a lot of that comes from all the hurdles that you have to jump, like cheaters, connection, error codes, all this other stuff. It's like, do I really want to go through all that just to get loot that I'm not that excited about? Or that I can't even like personalize how I want to grind it? Like, some sort of like token system or like card based system or something where you could be like, I'm gonna pick up this card, and this card is gonna be a hand cannon at the end. This card's gonna be an SMG at the end. Like, if you're gonna work that hard, I feel like there should be some way for you to customize the loot that you're grinding for. And I feel like there should be more loot as well, personally. I like waiting to bring Summoner and Eye of Soul and stuff into the pool as long as they did even was kind of a mistake in my opinion. Because those weekends were like huge. Every time they had decent loot all the way along the card, like the population tripled for those weekends. If it was a good map and there's decent loot, the population was like off the charts and games went so much easier. So that's personally my priority. I'd fix cheating and I would look at the loot system, see if you could take some advice from the community and stuff and try to make it a little bit more convenient and worth it.
Very well said. What are your thoughts, Frosty?
Definitely cheating is the number one, because I mean,
Sure.
even trying to go flawless right now is a headache, to say the least. It's a headache. So again, I 100% agree. Is like, is it even worth gambling, you know, my 50-50 of am I going to get a shooter on every single game just to go flawless? And I think the loot is a big issue, because I can go get 2 friends and run 5 to 10 GMs in the time that it takes to go flawless.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get so much more loot.
Relaxing as well too, by the way. You don't even have to sweat that stuff.
Yeah. I don't have to lean in like Nick Merckx to play. So I can literally go do like those 5 to 10 GMs and walk away with as many golf balls as you'd get from 10 flawlesses, you know, in the time of 1 card. So loot's definitely a big one. And maybe this is something I've been thinking about, but maybe the adept weapons aren't even enough of a bonus. Like the adept mods are really cool and all that, but I still feel like something about the adept weapons is just missing. Like you can, like an igneous hammer before the rampage nerf, the adept igneous was definitely better, but it's not by much. It wasn't. I don't feel like it was big enough margin to be like, you will win this gunfight just because you have the adept, right?
That was mentioned last week, and I agree. Yeah, there's nothing that's setting an adept weapon different from its counterpart, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, other than you get the buffs on the, you get +5 handling, plus
those
5
stats
range.
are so small.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but I do feel like they could give adept weapons more juice, because they should be better by a significant margin, in my opinion, because you can jump off the map and get an igneous hammer at 3 wins. And if the adept igneous is at flawless, the players who can somehow get to flawless should be rewarded way better, you know, than the normal ones. So I think that I don't really know how, because I'm mainly a PvE player, but I think giving those adept weapons more of just a big boost, I think that would help the loot a lot, as well as like the golf balls and the prisms and all that. I think 2 golf balls at least should be fair. Maybe a special bounty for going flawless to also give you a golf ball you buy for like 10,000 glim or something like that. Because like I said, GM's easier to run, quicker to run, and you're just going to walk away with way more loot. And as a PvE player,
double loot, by the way,
PvP,
as well too.
Yeah, double loot like every other week. And as a PvE player, I feel very spoiled looking at the PvP side. I feel very spoiled with how I get to play the game. So I definitely think, I mean, yeah, you've been trying it out, and it's just way nicer,
I have more golf balls than I know what to do with. I'm masterworking stuff I don't even use because I'm losing golf balls because of it.
I masterwork meme exotics to go put in the postmaster for next season. Like it's that easy. So I definitely think loot, obviously cheating, and then sword and 3 peeking is going away. I think a balance update is needed for PvP in general, because I like to play quick play from here to there if I'm bored. I enjoy how the game feels. It's a nice FPS, And I can't say I'm a fan of going to a quick play and dying to 3 salvage over and over and over from across the map. So I definitely think sandbox updates is just a generally needed thing. I mean, I like that they did a mid-season patch. I feel like that's super good. It's an improvement, because we used to only see updates like that once a season, and that's a long time.
I agree.
Be stuck in one sandbox.
I agree.
So I hope we continue to see those mid-season updates.
That's a huge thing as well too, because as you guys know, season 15 is going to be a long one. It's going to be one that's going to last from end of August to January.
I think Witchqueen starts in February.
Yeah, so we have like a 5-month season that we have to run through. And dude, if there's something wrong at the beginning of the season that doesn't get patched to Witch Queen, it's gonna suck.
It's gonna suck. Yeah.
It's gonna suck. If there's something that's broken in PvP, it's gonna break people. It is gonna if there's not like a light at the end of the tunnel, you know, like, hey, we know this is wrong. We are busting our ass to fix it, but you have to give us time. It takes time to fix this type of problem, you know. We have mentioned trials just about every week because I get a bunch of my PvP friends on here or whatever, and we complain. But I want to look at the bright side of things, like you were saying, the mid-season patch that shows that these are things that are going to be changing here soon. As you guys saw, the special ammo economy is going to be changing. That's huge. We all know that shotguns or snipers just rule the crucible because their ammo is abundant. You kill one person, you have 2 scavs on, you get like 4 shots. Boom, that's usually 2 to 3 kills for the average person, you know.
Yeah.
But if you die, you get 6 shots to the next person, you know. So it's crazy. Those things I'm thinking are gonna be that mid-season patch to keep things fresh next season. But I those things, like you said, recognizing, you know, there are problems mid-season and fixing them right on the spot instead of waiting is going to be massive. And I hope that the kind of what's the word that I'm trying to think of? I don't know. I've lost my train of thought. But next season, we were talking trials there for a second, and one thing that caught my attention, you were talking about adept weapons, Frosty. And I agree. Adept weapons are just barely set apart from their counterparts of just the regular weapons, and that's counting for all of them. I'm also talking about the strike ones as well too. Yeah. There's not much of a difference between a adept Uzume and a regular Uzume, other than the fact that you can put adept Icarus on it. That's my opinion. Yep. And the fact that no god rolls for poor old Maddox over here that just does GMs for a living now.
I feel that.
That GM is painful because your boy Don keeps on pushing me into a freaking train every single time. But the one time that I try to push him into a train, he just walks away from it like he's God.
Maddox, you know what I have to say to that? Just adapt.
Yeah, just adapt, right?
That's it. That's it.
We were doing GMs the other night, and every time I would be right there at the first champion, I'd be standing next to the thing. We kill the unstoppable. We go on to the anti-bear that's up on the little ledge, and I'm just standing there and just bing, 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 my little night watch, and the next thing you know, I see a freaking train come by, and my freaking ass is just right there, pancaked by it. I'm like, what the F happened? And then I look, and this man's on his Sparrow, and I'm like, what are you doing? I was so upset because I just kept on forgetting about it. It happened every single strike, and we did about 10 that night, and every time I got flattened by the train.
Yeah, playing with Don is like a difficulty above Grandmaster. Like you gotta be ready. You gotta be on your game.
You have to be aware. You have to adapt because my ass did not.
That's it.
Yeah. The one time I get on my little mini Sparrow, I'm sitting there, my hunter, and I had him dead. He was literally, his ghost was sitting there, and I had to beg our teammate to res him so I could run him into the train. And guess what happens? I run him into the train, and he walks up on the train and just walks away. I have a whole clip of it, and I'll have to post it because it's nonsense. I was so upset.
Built different. That's it.
He was indeed built different, absolutely. But Adept Uzume, quit talking about Don. I hate that guy. The adept weapons in general. You get Masterworks, and I think I see some comments in chat that you're talking about. You get like a 1 meter difference in range. You get like a better recoil direction and a little bit better handling and stuff like that. And of course, you get to put the adept mods on it, and it looks a little different. Doesn't look any better though, in my opinion. But thoughts on? I keep on asking you guys, like, can you fix this for me real quick? What are your thoughts on what can we do to help differentiate making adepts, 10 times more badass? Why do you want the adept over the regular? What are your thoughts? We'll start with Liv.
This actually popped into my head when Frosty first mentioned it. What if they reserved some of those god roll combinations for adept weapons, or if you're doing trials for like higher wins, so like your drop at 7 wins would have a way higher chance of having quick draw and rampage, something like that.
Mhm.
They know what the god rolls are. Like,
Oh, for
they
sure.
see what the community wants, PvE wise
For
and
sure.
PvP wise. So I don't feel like it's out of the realm of possibility to not make it. You don't want it to be impossible for someone to farm 3 wins to get like a rampage igneous, but like if it's pretty difficult, I think it would also discourage win trading and jumping off or, blowing themselves up, that kind of thing for wins. So it'd be like a way higher chance to get that god roll as you go through the card, and especially if you go flawless.
So getting rid of the crappy crappy perks that nobody wants. Nobody wants subsistence on a 120, if you ask me. It's just pointless.
Yeah, and if you do, then you can farm 3 wins.
There you go. Right. There you go. See, but then you get to 7 wins and you have a higher chance of getting a rampage roll, or a higher chance of getting a rapid hit on it, or something like that. The more top tier perks. And we, like you said, they know, because there's literally a website that shows the best Crucible perks, the best overall perk, and the best Vanguard perks. We all know that they know. So what are your thoughts, Frosty? What is going to make Adept more badass than the regular?
I definitely think I like what Master Vogue has done with the time loss weapons, because the curated role, like for Fatebringer, when we get that one as time loss, you're guaranteed explosive and Firefly just off the bat. Right. And then you have 2 other chances of perks, and like for those of us who do GMs on it for Overload, we could have Frenzy and Firefly, and choose between them, or you could have a PvP roll with opening shots. So I definitely think that with perks, it'd be way nicer to reward the Adept with just a better chance at perks. And right now, I think for PvP, what's the perk that they give you? It's Celery. Yeah, it's Celery. And then for GMs, we get Bottomless Grief. So I think that I definitely like the idea of, I mean, like you said, they know the good perks, include those later on, but maybe even give us, those 2 slots so we can have 4 total end perks to choose from. And then I think that the stats should probably get even maybe another 5 boost, kind of something like that. Maybe the masterwork should be allowed to go up to 15 if you have the mats, be able to master your work your gun up to 15, get even more stats. And then there are some mods, I know, like Adept Icarus, you just get +5 range and then the inner accuracy, but some of them, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, I think it's stability. You like lose range for using Adept stability.
Yeah,
I think that's just a terrible idea. You should not be punished for putting on an Adept mod.
You literally, Adept backup mag is literally worse than regular backup mag, because it takes away handling and it doesn't give you any more than what Adept. Like, it gives you, depending on what your perks are, because you can already get like the appended mag or whatever and Bottomless Grief. And you throw a Adept mag, you don't get anything other than just take away handling. You literally just take away.
You're literally just losing stats.
Right.
So I don't know what the thought process was on losing stats on Adept mods. So I think something like a 15 masterwork, because I mean, it doesn't hurt to have more stats, and maybe like at the end of the 15, charge a golf ball for it. If you really want to go crazy, and then get more stats, and then like I said, Adept mods should have 0 penalty. It should only be a buff, because it's RNG which ones you get. Like, because of GMs, I was able to get every single one pretty easily. But for a lot of PvP players, they might still be missing Adept Icarus. They probably play trials every week and are still missing Adept Icarus. So it's like, just don't put a negative on Adept mods. And that's my opinion.
And the fact that there's a few of them that don't have any negatives compared to the few that can be very useful if they didn't have that negative,
It's like, why do some have a flat buff and some are a buff and a nerf? It's weird. I don't get it.
I can agree with that. Here's my thoughts. And you struck you hit the nail on the head, like right when you were talking about the time loss weapons. It's almost like you get the curated role and you get a choice of another role. You get basically 2 guns in one almost. That's Adept mods. You have different perk combinations. So maybe if you're running into PvP, you can do the frenzy rewind rounds or whatever on your Fatebringer. But hey, now I want to go into PvP. Guess what? You also got opening shot and killing wind on that same roll because of the way time loss weapons work. So you have literal 2 guns in one. The one that's great for GMs, one that's great for just regular old walking around the Cosmodrome type stuff, and then you got one that's gonna be badass in trials or anything like that as well too. So that is, I think the way that they did the time loss weapons are fantastic, and I was gonna bring that up myself. And before you did, of course, you stole my thunder. is fantastic, and I would love to see. Imagine you get a Shayura's Wrath, the SMG from Trials. You get the adept version, and what would be the what you get, Killing Wind kill clip as the thing. That way, guess what? Everybody gets the same freaking roll. You know, everybody gets that same badass roll. But guess what? Maybe someone doesn't like Killing Wind and they got
Dynamic Sway or something
else that helps because they're on controller or something like that, or because literally anything, or if they don't like kill clip and they're just rolling into, they just want to farm I don't know, something else. They can get adrenaline junkie or something like that. I don't know, literally anything else. They have 2 rolls in one. They have the damn good roll that's everybody's going for, but because you went flawless, you got the badass roll and you got rewarded for it.
Walk away with 2 guns.
You're right. You walk away with 2 guns with the price of 1. Guess what? You go do a GM. You get the sniper, the adept Uzume. Guess what? The god roll's gonna be whatever, snapshot and Vorpal. And guess what? Maybe you rolled what's the other good perk? Triple tap as well too. Boom. You have literally 2 guns in 1. I think that would be a fantastic. Instead of going for 2, I'm going for 2 Uzumes at the moment, by the way, because I gotta get one that's good for PvP. I gotta get one that's good for PvE. I can't find literally either of them, which is bullcrap. I don't know what GMs have against me right now. I'm getting thrown into trains and I can't get anything. This is bullcrap. Okay, I'm writing my letter to Bungie as we speak. It's terrible.
Angry tree.
It's bad, but next week is gonna be fun. You get double loot, by the way, double loot in GMs, not in trials, by the way. But it's going to be all the old stuff as well, too. So you guys, if you didn't get a good palindrome, for those that are listening, guess what? You get double loot. But guess what? You also, I got, thanks to Frosty over here carrying me through.
Proving grounds, by the way. And you get a first run. So
first one, we get a what is it? Quick draw rangefinder.
Rangefinder, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I did so many GMs for Pally. It was the only GM reward I wanted, and I couldn't get a good one.
It's beautiful. It's
I don't have
such
a 5
a beautiful
out of 5
gun.
either, and I smashed my head against the wall for a week in that GM. So.
It's such a good
Go
gun,
again.
But also you get a chance at the Shatter Price, and I have yet to get the Swarm as well too. I never really did a GM when it was the Swarm, so you have 2 that will add to a few more adept. You now have also, and then I think the week after that you have Fatebringer. You have Fatebringer Time Loss coming through with the Templar challenge. So there are a lot of good things coming up here in Destiny, man. I'm excited for it. Thoughts on anything that we've spoken about so far? Anything that you guys might have wanted to say?
I think that was my main idea. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it around town because we have some big conversations here. As you guys know, Witch Queen, it's a big thing. I want to know, and I'll give you my thoughts first. I want to know what is gonna make Witch Queen the most badass DLC that it could possibly be. All right, and I want to speak about this for quite a bit because it's gonna be, like I said, we were talking about, it's gonna be Forsaken, and which we hope it is. If it's not better. We have a big boss of Savathun coming through. I don't know much about it. Unfortunately, I can't speak a lot about the lore because I just simply don't know a lot about it. But with the storyline, of course, we're not really sure what's going to go happen in season 15. Something might take the turn. We know Saint 14 has been an interesting character. We know Lakshmi has been an interesting character as well too. Osiris, yeah. See, okay, I didn't know that. I should really read up on the Destiny lore. Honestly, I'm a Destiny nerd, but I don't have any clue what's going on this season.
I just saw my chat tell me.
But when it comes to the characters that are making a little bit of ruckus this past season, we don't know what's going to happen next season. But just big picture, when it comes to the story in Witch Queen, what I want to see and what would make it an absolute fantastic story, in my opinion, is if we just get our shit kicked in. And I'm talking about we go in way over our head. We're landing on the Dreadnought. We're landing on whatever planet it is. Old Chicago people have been talking about. And from the freaking start, we get our shit rolled. and I mean we are struggling from the beginning, whether that's our story, whether that's the story missions, whether that's the hive kicking our ass. I don't care what it is. I want to go in way over our head. We just maybe something big happened at the end of season 15 that we conquered something. We kicked Saint 14's butt because he betrayed us or something like that. I'm talking out of my butt at the moment, but we just came off a big win. We're going into Savathun's destroying the world or something, and we just go in there, and she just lights a fire under our ass, and we go in there, get our shit kicked in, but then bam, the raid comes out, and then we go in and kick Savathun's ass. That it gets my blood pumping because I'm just so excited. That would be such a cool story in my opinion. Of course, another big thing that I would want to see, do you guys remember in Taken King all the different side quests that came out that even tied to the raid as well too? So Liv, you may not have known what I'm talking about here, but whenever Taken King came out, you had all these different side quests on all these different planets that gave you all these different pieces of lore, but you did story missions, and you had to wait for this enemy to spawn, and then you had to kill him with this certain type of thing, and go into the Dreadnought. You had the Court of Oryx, which was fantastic, by the way. Yeah. Would love to see something like that again as well too, where we have these things that we accrue, over the time of playing the story missions, and whether it's, in that case it was the runes or whatever, and you slot the rune, go in, it's a different boss every week, boom, you fight him, you get a piece of something that leads to something else or whatever. I want to explore all these places. There's supposed to be 2 new areas, like in Forsaken, where there was the Tangled Shore. We kicked its tail to go into the Dreaming City. I'd love to see something like that, and I would love to see it evolve, just like kind of how Forsaken was as well. So, story-wise, that's what I'm looking forward to. That would be the perfect story in my opinion. Frosty, what are your thoughts? What is gonna make Witch Queen for you? Like, what is gonna bring you back, and what's gonna make you take off work that day? Of course, you're self-employed, but I'm saying, like, for those, like, what's gonna get you excited for it, man? Like, I'm curious.
Yeah. So you mentioning the Dreadnought and just how much there was to do, like, that was one of the most fun things I've ever done in Destiny. Was little like 15-year-old Frosty booting into the Dreadnought, and there was just so
Mom,
much to
what's
do.
this?
So, Mom, can I have an hour?
Mom, don't even go to bed yet. I'm about to beat him.
So true. And I mean, holy crap, just going through all those different caves and hallways, and there was all the invisible bridges that would come up when you scanned it and stuff, and just all that stuff to do. That was like such a core thing of Destiny for me. There was mystery to it, and I wanted to sit there and grind, even if it was going around and I don't remember what it's called. It's that little silver thing that you could pick up, that little material. Just going around and picking up that for hours and exploring was really fun for me back then. So just I want like mystery, and I want things to just go around and do. I just want to be in the game. I know how simple and dumb that sounds, but I just want a reason to go around and just play the game. I don't care what it is. Just give me something like Dreadnought that I just don't want to leave, And I definitely think that I agree with the whole Savathun kick in our butt thing, because D2 vanilla, I loved the launch of it and how Gaul just rips us to shreds and everything we knew, like our tower.
Man came in and said, "F you, dude. This is my tower now," and kicked us off
and all that. My only complaint with that was how quickly we automatically got back on our feet. It's like second mission, we go find the shard and all that. So I'd love to see maybe a longer story of us. We're behind and we gotta catch up to Savathun, that kind of a thing. I'd love to see a longer story of that, because Savathun is someone that was mentioned, I believe, as far back as year 1. I think we had the Savathun song strike in year 1. So the story's been building for a long time. So
I mean, we've heard the name Savathun since Oryx and such. So I mean, that's
right. Even D1, yeah. And so I really do want like just a nice long story where we're working from behind. Got to catch up to Savathun, and I really would love something like Dreadnought. I want the Dreadnought to come back eventually, because it does seem like they're kind of merging all the good parts of Destiny over to make one big Destiny universe. So I'd love to see the Dreadnought, but if it's not the Dreadnought specifically, something like that. Like you mentioned, there was Court of Oryx, but just the amount of quests to do and just things to explore there was something we've never seen before. And I think Dreaming City was the closest thing we've gotten to that. Because I remember when Forsaken first came out and we found the Dreaming City, there's just all these just hallways and just side quests to go do that they were just so cool to me. I don't know, they just hooked my attention. It sounds so simple and basic, but it just had me playing the game every day, even if it was simple, boring quests, you know.
Dude,
So I just want something like that.
I can
It's simple,
agree with
but
you. I remember the night of before Taken King dropped, and even before Forsaken dropped as well too. Taken King, I didn't have a job, of course. I was just a little young lad that went to school. But I skipped class. I was in college, and I didn't go to class. I stayed up 7 o'clock when it hit. For some reason, I remember Taken King dropped really early in the morning for some reason, and I don't know why. Or maybe I'm just forgetting, but I don't think it was one of those like reset drops of a new series. I think it was just like a drop like 8 in the morning or something like that. I woke up and I turned on my PS4 at the time, and I just got lost in it, man. I miss that feeling of just getting lost in Destiny again, you know? Getting lost in the story missions, getting lost in the side quests, getting lost just hanging out with my friends, and like, this guy got this badass gun. How did he get it? He won't even tell me, or like he got it from doing this solo or this and that. I want to get literally lost in this game. I want to be here at 3 in the morning when I'm supposed to be at work 3 hours later. Like, I should really get off or something like that. You know, like I miss that feeling. And not that Destiny isn't like that anymore, but it's just not that in story wise, if you ask me.
It's not the same. Yeah.
I can agree, but
I would also love to see some more meaningful quests, because this is going to sound weird, but I don't know if you guys remember the Xenophage quest.
Mhm.
In my opinion, that was one of the better exotic quests we've done. For the average player, they'd
Yes,
be in that quest all day. I mean, you had to go all over the moon, get to, you know, find all these things in a specific order. Then you had to go over to the dungeon, fight a hidden boss. I think quests like that. I mean, if you remember in D1, the exotic swords, like Dark Drinker and all that, when they came out, those quests were a pain in the butt, but it had you playing the game like all day. I miss quests like that. I don't like going picking up a quest, scanning 10 things, boom, it's over. Like one voice line, you know. I just agree. I love just more meaningful things that just like captivate me, you know, stuff like that.
I miss it where it brought you to a different planet. You had to pick up this and go do this story mission, come back and do a harder version of that strike, where you had to, like you were given the example, the 3 swords, by the way, that you had to do this mission for, where you had to kill the Darkblade within like 10 seconds of killing this specific knight that had a shield that was corresponding to your one that you were supposed to get. But then guess what? The same guy that you were running this with also had to get the arc one as well too. So guess what? You had to kill the arc one and the solar one at the same time. It's just all this like,
how long that took me.
like it's just, there's so much going on, and it brought you into so many different aspects of the game, where you had to do this on this planet, but then it also brought you back to what makes sense, was you had to go in and kill the Darkblade. By the way, best strike in Destiny history. Thank you. If you would have said nothing else, I would have been so upset. But it's that, and don't even get me mentioned sitting in We've Awoken the Hive. I don't know if you guys remember that, but having to get kills, and you better hope you have a bad juju, or you're gonna be sitting there for a long time, killing Thrall and going getting killed by the night, because you're gonna be resetting a lot. But that's the type of stuff I miss. The quest that just took forever, man, and it gave you stuff that was worth it.
Yep.
The Raise Lighter, the Dark Drinker
in the game, and one of the best exotics and just DPS things in the entire game. And for me, it took forever to get, because I was a casual, you know, playing a little bit a day. It took me days and days to get, and I had to watch Dato's video 15 times over to actually understand it, you know. And I mean, in this game, it's gonna be harder, because I'd consider myself like a hardcore player now, so I don't think I'll ever get that full feeling again. But I just feel like there was so many more meaningful quests and stories, and I think the Forsaken was just like the D2 version of Taken King. The story with Cade, I mean, I'm a hunter main, so that hit home, you know. It still hurts. I still miss it. So stuff like that, you know, just you feel more like entangled in the game, and you just feel just I don't know, just you want to play more, stuff like that. I definitely miss. So I'd love to see just aspects of that come back. Even as simple as that's a very broad, you know, want. But definitely something I just love to feel again.
And you mentioned Kate. That's something we still talk about to this day. It was years ago. The one loss we had in this game, and we still talk about it. Imagine if something like that happens again. or like some type
Take
of
Ikora
twist.
this time.
What?
Or Zavala. Just take why Cade? You could have taken
facts.
either of the other two.
Dog, take Rahul. Nobody likes that guy, man. We
Poor Rahul.
have so many other. We're good. We're good. We got.
Honestly, take Tess.
Okay, facts. Yeah.
If I'm sacrificing
Eververse.
anyone, it's Tess.
Take the Eververse. We don't need her.
Tess and her silver can
need
be
her.
swallowed by Sabathun. I don't care.
Where's Bungie?
My wallet will
Hit
be
this man.
happier.
Yeah, facts. Just give us all the. We go kill Tess in like she's Sabathun. Really, we just didn't know it. We've just been buying stuff from Sabathun for years now. But then when we get it, we all get our refunds back. Thoughts?
I would love that.
You complete the story.
The
you get all
Bungie
your
marketing
silver.
team is actually Sabathun. Massive twist.
Yeah, you guys know that. You guys are all getting refunds of everything you've spent. Okay, all that silver was worth it. Or you just get you just get all the cosmetics. Easy. So it's worth it. Just go kill the raid boss and you're good. You just get every cosmetic in the game. I'd like that.
That's another thing. Cosmetics. That reminds me. D1 hard mode raids. Like I don't know if you guys have seen those pictures, but the glow from like the Crota ones, you literally had like hive like spikes coming out of you that were glowing, and you could make them brighter. And then like the Siva ones for Wrath had two different versions where one was like actual Siva particles, and it's hard to explain, but the hard mode D1 raid cosmetics were some of the coolest visuals I've ever seen in a video game.
You literally had a Vex leg as a hunter.
Exactly, yeah.
Like it's crazy.
I mean, and the Warlock, you were literally a Gorgon. You had the actual like things coming out of you. And so I know that their team is still capable of that stuff. And I mean, I don't know if they're ever going to do hard mode raids again, but just stuff like that. It feels so much more worth grinding that stuff. You just feel so much better. And that's a lot of Destiny is the power fantasy, right? And I think that looks have a lot to do with that. I mean, got to look good to play good. So stuff like that would be amazing to see come back as well.
Absolutely. Fox, what's gonna, so like you said, you're just kind of more of a casual Destiny player. What's gonna bring you back to play Witch Queen?
I definitely agree with everything both of you said.
Sure.
I think story wise, for me, I would be very happy if, like what you said, Maddox happens, right? Like we get our ass kicked, we come back, in the end, we win, whether it's in a raid or whatever. But I would be literally over the moon if we don't win. I would be so happy if we actually lose for one.
I would love to see that, honestly.
Be so happy. Like you said, like Sabathun has been teased since like the beginning of Destiny 1. She's supposed to be like a master of deception, like a literal evil genius. And not only that, but I would also be happy if there was like a massive twist where it's like, what if like Sabathun is not actually bad? Like what if everything we've been taught about her by the Vanguard and like the Traveler and all that stuff is like actually not true? And so we have like this like battle between, where did the Traveler actually come from? What was its purpose? Like, what was the speaker's actually like actual purpose? Like that kind of stuff. I would be so cool if it's like a super psychological, like thriller type season. Like just mess with my head the whole time. I'd be so happy.
You're messing with my head right now. What the heck? I never thought about that, because there's been talks about how the Traveler has been really mysterious or whatever and stuff like that recently and stuff. So,
and why did he just like, even in this season, you learn from Mithrax and stuff that the Traveler just like ditched out on their whole people for no reason. Like, why, like, what does it steal? Like, I'm starting to question.
Oh, that's interesting.
And if we're gonna get another dark subclass, like if that comes from Sabathun or something along that lines, like that would be super cool, because then you're still going through that whole struggle of like, it's like a dark power, but still if we yield it for good, like what, is it really dark? That kind of thing. I don't know. I would love that kind of twist personally.
You have my imagination flowing right now. That's interesting. That's interesting. So, oh my God, I don't even know what to say right now, because it's just like, what if that does happen? What if everything we've been thinking about at the moment, of being a guardian that we all thought come from the Traveler and this and that and our subclasses and blah 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 is all just a freaking lie?
Our life is a lie.
Like what? What if Cade comes back? Like that? What if?
I'm down.
What if we just saw all these what ifs?
What if
Like-
Marasov is Sabathan?
Well, then you have that.
That would be
Yeah, that
unfortunate.
we have that whole story of Marasov
Yeah.
and gone, whatever. And it's just there's so many things that I want to happen. But here's one thing that I would love to see, and this might be iffy, but I would love to see something end. Like one of these
Mhm.
avenues of stories that we've seen over the past 7 freaking years. One
Yeah.
of them needs to end.
Yeah.
We need to see the
Yeah.
end of something. Why the F? If you guys remember this old cutscene of the Crow coming back, where he woke up in the Dreaming City. Hello, why? What
Yeah.
happened in between us killing him and him being resurrected, and then he came back as the Crow? Like, I want to see a little bit more of his story as well too, but I want something to end.
Some resolution.
Whether that's something we figure out what the frick is going on with Osiris. I mean, he's been with us since Curse of Osiris, which Frosty said was amazing, apparently.
Old Frosty thought it was
Yeah.
amazing. Current Frosty realizes objectively it was pretty tough.
But I mean, we've always had these weird thoughts about what Osiris is up to and who he actually is, maybe, and what his actual intentions are. And then you this whole random curveball of State 14 might actually be bad. Who's the enemy? You know, I'd love to see something be a little bit more understandable, I guess, and like who are we actually, protecting? In this case with Zavala, it's just the tower. We're just tower defenders, blah blah blah, whatever. Defend the
He's so
tower, do it.
basic.
Like it's kill
He
Zavala
makes me
off,
so
Bungie.
mad.
Okay, what the heck are you guys
Literally.
doing? Why did it have to be Cade? But like I said, something in this realm, some type of storyline just needs to come to an end. Whether that's
Don't forget about the Drifter also.
Oh
and
my
the
God.
9. Why is the Drifter
Why are there
tied to
so
the
many
9?
stories?
What is this
There's so
floating
many
house?
things.
Why does he just own a floating space home? I didn't know Elon Musk was in the game. I don't know. I would just like answers. Like,
And if we're gonna take someone out, I mean, I don't know about how you guys feel about Gambit, but I'd be kind of okay with
Oh.
Drifter being the next one picked off.
Dude, if
Yank it.
if we could go through and kill the Drifter just to delete Gambit, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
I'd do it
Oh,
in a
yeah.
heartbeat. I'm sorry. That's
just a whole mission just where you get to kill Drifter at the end and you just watch Gambit disappear
we
from
just
the playlist.
it just cuts to a
That'd be great.
cutscene and just
Be a
Gambit just
glorious
fades
moment
away
for
into the
Destiny.
light.
hmm
Oh,
Thanos snaps his finger and
be the
gone.
best Destiny moment ever.
Oh,
One thing I totally forgot, and you mentioned the darkness subclass, is I've seen stuff all over Twitter of these sick poison.
yes,
Mhm.
Like mock-ups
yeah.
and stuff. And
Yeah.
so I would love to see something like that in Witch Queen, because I feel like they'd go that route with me the 3 light. I'd love to see 3 dark, and I think poison. We've had Thorn forever, and then they gave us some necrotic
Yeah.
grips and kind of leaned into that poison more. So I think poison subclasses would be super cool as long as they don't freeze you or just break Crucible. I
Or
think
slow you. Just no more
Exactly,
slow. Just
yeah.
let me function, please.
don't give us Bloom and make us not be able to dodge. But yeah,
Oh,
I think
God.
the subclass would be awesome.
I can
Yeah,
agree.
that'd be cool.
The little
I think,
poison subclass would be nice. That would be interesting to see. Like it's all like based around like damage over time or something like that. Because of course that's what
Yeah.
Thorn does. So that'd be interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
A Siva wrap up would be cool too. Because
That
I
would
think
be insane.
Siva just kind of like disappeared. I feel like it'd be really cool if they did. I don't know if they'll bring
Well,
it back
and
in
then
Witch Queen,
You
but
got this whole season of the Splicer, where the first time we saw
Yeah.
Splicer was way back when Siva happened. See, there's just so many
Yeah.
weird things
We've
going
seen,
on,
like
man.
Siva teasers just here and there in parts of the game, and I think Siva would be even cooler than Poison because
It's my
I was gonna
favorite.
say,
such a
yeah.
cool part of the game.
It's
That'd be
by
really
far
cool.
my favorite type of like storyline in this game was Rise of Iron. The Siva
Mhm.
thing was my favorite
It was
thing
amazing.
ever. It was
Outbreak
beautiful.
is probably my favorite exotic in the franchise, and it's terrible in D2, but it's just such a cool,
gun.
gun, and the D1 quest was crazy, but they already
Oh.
added back Cosmodrome, so Plague Lands wouldn't be too hard to bring
Yeah.
back either,
In a little extension.
Slap that back into Cosmodrome.
It'd be interesting, like you were saying earlier. They're kind of just bringing all that stuff back to make it one universal game.
Yeah.
So because Destiny
think
2
by
server
Lightfall
or
we'll
Destiny
see
1
that.
servers can't be here forever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they have to shut that game down at some point. So
yeah.
to bring everything over and have one universal game that's going to be 600 gigabytes is going to be fantastic.
I think by Lightfall, because that's supposed to be like the end of this phase of Destiny.
Right.
I do think we'll see like basically all the good big stuff from D1 back, because obviously VOG, they had no problem adding back. So I think we'll see the game just become Destiny. Just, the universe of Destiny, which I am
Get rid
all
of the
for.
two, baby.
I am all for it, as long as we're getting new content too. I definitely don't want only old content, but there's so much good old content to bring back. So just bring some old stuff back here and there, but give us some new stuff and just make it Destiny. And I think there's just so much potential, much potential for the
I love it,
next
dude.
10 years.
Please bring D1 Trials loot. I never got to
Yeah,
get
right.
it. I just want a cat
The
cloak
cat hunter,
and the
oh my
scarab
gosh.
emblem
Yeah,
and a black shader. That's it. That's all I'm
super
asking
black.
for.
I hate it.
Sonic.
I never got any of them.
I love it. I love it. I agree. I would like to see just Destiny. That'd be cool.
Yeah, just the universe
Witch
of
Queen
Destiny.
happens, things start to kind of come to an end. Like you said, Lightfall happens a year after that, and you have all these different quest lines that have kind of concluded and such. And then you just have the next storyline. What comes out next?
Phase 2. Yeah.
Phase 2, and we get 10 more
nothing about
years
after
of
Lightfall.
Yeah, right. So I mean, imagine how the game's gonna be then, dude. We're a year through Witch Queen, and we see all these things. Who knows? Even if we're Guardians at that point, like I don't even know. Like,
I mean, the name Lightfall could suggest something like that. You never
maybe
know.
we just become the Avengers. Who knows? Like Tony Spark. Is that Stark? I said Spark. I'm an idiot. I swear I've seen the movies before. Okay. Oh God, that'll be fun.
Spark Industries.
Yep, there you go. Easy. But no, it's just, you think about this game, man. Like, and overall, we love this game, and I think I can speak for a lot of us that play it, stream it, don't play it. I don't freaking know. Like, this game is unique, and Bungie continues to wrap their people around it, and like you were saying earlier, Frosty, this community is fantastic. I can vouch because they've literally funded a whole computer for me. Like, I don't even know what to say about that, but it's just it thinking about what this game can be and what it has become already, and just the things that they have in store. It's just nothing but exciting, in my opinion.
So much potential.
I'm excited for it. So Witch Queen comes out in February, I think we were speaking about.
I think
we have 5 months. 5 months of season 15, where hopefully a lot of things start to get fixed, like we were talking about earlier, where hopefully quality of life, I'm still pushing for it. Season of quality.
Enough quality.
I'm still pushing for it. So, but any other things you guys want to touch on, man? We had a great conversation. That was awesome. Yeah. I appreciate you guys talking with me. Sorry again, our other host, Mr. Luke, wasn't allowed to be on here, but he has more important IRL things going on. As we all know, he's moving, so I'm excited to see his kind of life start to wind down, where he can start streaming again as well too. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
But anything that you guys wanna touch on before we wrap it up?
I mean, personally, I think we covered everything that I'm excited for, and my thoughts on everything.
I agree as well.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I will just thank you guys for being here. It was kind of a little bit hectic to start with, but tell us once again, we'll start with Mr. Frosty here, what you're doing. I want to know if you guys are having anything coming up or any announcements that you guys might have. Frosty, you mentioned something about maybe working with some particular people, some nice opportunities coming up. So if you have anything you want to announce, now's the time. Let us know who you are again once more.
So my name's Frosty, and for my job, I'm a graphic designer, and design streams will be coming back. Maybe knocking 2 birds out with 1 stone. We'll be streaming all my client work, and then maybe even some fun side projects. I have a lot of big, opportunities that are coming with this that I can't talk about, unfortunately, yet. So I'll keep you guys updated. Yeah, fun legal stuff. But a lot of fun stuff coming with that. Variety content. I'd say the most anticipated variety content I have coming up is I'll be streaming Dark Souls. The entire series.
Okay.
I've never played a Soulsborne game or anything like that, and I've heard that Dark Souls is quite the game. So I'm excited for that. That'll be coming soon.
Oh,
and just
I'm interested. That'd be fun.
Variety or Destiny,
watching.
So all that good stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time.
Awesome. Fox, you so it's you guys, if you listen to us at the beginning of the podcast, you guys know that Fox has recent update, she's taken off of streaming, but you have some things coming up. Let's hear about it.
Well, my name is Foxytocinn. Again, I guess in case there's anyone here who didn't hear it the first time, with 2 N's on everything. I am taking a break from streaming right now, but I am starting YouTube. My first video goes up tomorrow at 12 Eastern.
There you go.
My goal is just to entertain people while they eat. It's just all I want my channel to be. Just eat your food and sit and watch a video.
Lunch break, and we got a new Fox video. Let's go.
Yeah, easy. So yeah, that's gonna be my first video. I'm going pretty hard on it. So I'm gonna try to get a video a week, and it's gonna be a lot of variety content. I'm gonna do all kinds of stuff. Stuff with me and Gav, or Lunarology, if you know him from the community. For whatever reason, people enjoy our weird ass relationship together. And I'm gonna do let's plays and like past stream highlights, all that good stuff. So yeah, just a lot of different stuff for people to enjoy.
Hell yeah. So it's gonna be, it's still gonna be like content like with gaming as well too, is that right?
Yeah, so it's funny Frosty mentioned Dark Souls. I really want to play Dark Souls. I've never played either. But the idea of playing it live, yeah, the idea of playing it live like actually terrifies me. So I think I might do like yeah, I think I'm gonna do some let's plays. Like I'll record it, make some YouTube content of it, and let people laugh at me because I'm gonna die a lot. So
that's awesome. I'm excited for both of you guys, because as for those that might not know, variety is scary. We always think about in the back of their head, this isn't the normal content I produce. So I'm excited for you guys, and I know you guys will kill it, so that's awesome. Well, good luck with that. I truly hope that you guys succeed with that, because I know the potential that you guys have as content creators, and that's why I had you on here, because I like you guys very much. So
appreciate it.
Again, I'm upset Luke couldn't be here, but that's okay. And also, we normally have our third host, Mr. Havoc. He's still recovering from health issues, so we do want to send him some love as well too. Havoc, we hope you're doing well, my brother, and we hope that you come back soon. But again, I'm Maddox. You can find me at twitch.tv/Maddox. I stream 4 days a week. Hopefully going to be getting my new computer soon. No updates on that, unfortunately, just yet. This next week, we have a rather huge thing coming up. We're doing a raid race with my community versus Above's community. If you guys don't know who Above is, he is Mr. Frostee's clanmate of Obtained. And they are, these guys are day one farmers, clearers, and it's going to be tough. So I am excited. I'm going to be practicing on Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, no, Tuesday I'm playing GMs and raids with Evan F. So that'll be fun. I'll see you guys on Tuesday on twitch.tv/Maddox. And then on Thursday is the raid race. So that'll be at 7 p.m. EST. If you guys are listening to this on Friday, you missed it. So boo you.
Lucky.
Unfortunate.
But I will hopefully be getting back to my YouTube as well too. I'm again waiting for my new computer to come in. I'm going to be rearranging my whole desk and such, and rearranging this whole room because it's a mess, as those might see. But other than that, we wrap it up. This was episode 28 of the Destiny Nerds podcast. And next week, we always like to share at the end of our podcast that we have who our next guest is. And next week, we have Carly. If you guys don't know who Carly is, she does solo GMs like it's her freaking job. So we are going to be having her next week, and we will hopefully have Mr. Luke back next week as well too. And we will see you guys next Sunday. I almost said Friday. Next Sunday. So if you guys are listening to this, make sure again you guys go follow our wonderful guests here that we had tonight, Frostee and Foxytocinn, because they're going to be doing a lot of awesome things here soon. And we just appreciate you guys joining. Thanks again for joining. And other than that, that is a wrap. That was episode 28. Easy. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. We're going to send it over to one of our friends. And other than that, we will see you guys next Sunday. I salute to you.